Hey, you there? Yes, you watching this. Ever felt lost, like you're chasing something but aren't sure what it is? Maybe you're searching for meaning or wondering if your struggles are for anything at all. I was like that once. My name is Musashi. I've walked paths soaked in blood, silence, and solitude, but I didn't always know where I was going. Let me tell you how that changed. I wasn't born a legend. I became one. Through battles, not just with swords, but with my own ego, fear, and doubts. When I was 13, I killed a man. Not for glory, but because I thought that's what strength meant. I didn't understand the weight of a blade, not really. I was angry, wild, desperate to prove something, though I couldn't have told you what. Years went by, each fight burning away some part of me. Every duel was a mirror. Every opponent showed me who I really was. Do you know what it's like to win and feel nothing? That emptiness haunted me. I thought maybe if I kept walking, kept fighting, I'd find answers, but the battlefield only teaches one thing: how to survive. It doesn't teach you how to live. So I stopped. Not suddenly. There wasn't one big moment, no revelation in the rain. Just a slow unraveling, a curiosity. Who am I when no one's watching? When the sword is sheathed and the world is quiet? I began to train not just my arms but my mind. I read, I painted, I meditated for hours beneath the cold sky. I started to see that the greatest opponent was within. Have you ever looked in the mirror and asked, "Am I even myself?" I realized victory is not dominance, victory is clarity. I refined my technique until it was no longer technique, it was expression. No excess movement, no flourish, only truth. That became my life's purpose, to strip away what is unnecessary. From my sword, from my mind, from my heart. A sword is not a weapon, it is a tool, a mirror, a reminder. One day I drew in a fight and didn't strike, just stood, still, focused. My opponent lowered his blade. He saw it too. That's when I knew I had changed. From then on, I searched for emptiness, not as a void, but as a canvas. The place where true understanding begins. We chase status, glory, success. But do you know what remains when all that fades? Presence. In battle, I learned to be present. In stillness, I learned to be whole. Let me ask you again. What are you really fighting for? I fought for something that can't be taken, a way of life, a way of being. You can walk this path too. But not with rage, not with fear. You walk with awareness, with simplicity. That is the first step. I feared silence. I thought it meant failure. No praise, no purpose. But in silence, I discovered everything. The world taught me to swing my sword. Solitude taught me why. After my 100th fight, I stopped counting victories. It wasn't about winning anymore, it was about refinement, mastery. I studied the wind, the way it bends around the mountains but never breaks. I wanted to be like that, flexible but unwavering. I watched craftsmen build with precision, patience, and care. That's how I began to treat my own practice. No shortcuts, no arrogance. My sword became my brush. Each movement a stroke on the canvas of life. Have you ever focused so deeply the time disappears? That's what training became. Not for the next opponent, but for the next moment. I wrote a book. Maybe you've heard of it. The Book of 5 Rings. But it's not really about fighting. It's about perception, balance, presence. Many read it hoping to learn strategy. But true strategy begins before the first move. Do you walk into a room with awareness, or just with intentions? I walked the mountains alone, ate wild plants, slept in caves, not for punishment, but for purification. Every comfort stripped away reveals what remains. When I met others who sought wisdom, I didn't tell them what to do. I asked them, "What do you see?" Because sight isn't just physical, it's spiritual, mental, philosophical. Most people walk blind in daylight, distracted, divided. I used to too. But when your mind is quiet, even the smallest sound becomes a guide. I learned from nature, from craftsmen, from failure. One time I lost. Not my life, but my clarity. I rushed, I panicked, and I knew, even as I survived, I had not truly fought. I went back to my cave, sat still for 3 days, and when I emerged, my sword felt lighter, my heart heavier, in a good way. Experience is not in events, it's in reflection. Your job is not to collect moments, it's to digest them. What do you carry that no longer serves you? I discarded many things, titles, admiration, even friendships that pulled me from truth. To walk the path of mastery, you must walk alone, not always, but often enough to hear yourself clearly. People fear solitude because they don't like who they are when no one is looking. Face that. Change that. Your strength is not your speed, your power, your resume. It is your presence, your principle, your peace. What does it mean to live deliberately? For years I lived by instinct. Reacted, struck, moved without thinking. That made me sharp. But it did not make me wise. Wisdom is movement with meaning, speech with silence, action with reflection. I began to see that the space between moments was just as powerful as the moments themselves. Most people chase certainty, but life is flow, not control. So I stopped seeking control, started seeking balance. I once believed the perfect form was the fastest strike. Now I believe it's the stillest heart. I practiced until movement became understanding, until I could sense the shift in the wind, not just feel it, but respond to it without effort. My opponents didn't stop being dangerous. I stopped needing to defeat them. Instead, I needed to understand them. We are all fighting the same enemies: fear, desire, confusion, each in our own way. In my final years, I spent more time teaching than dueling, more time painting than speaking, because mastery is silent. If you're chasing greatness, know this: greatness is not loud. It doesn't demand recognition. It simply is. Stand in a room and feel your presence. If it shakes the air without you saying a word, that is power. But never seek power. Seek clarity. And if you must choose between being impressive and being whole, choose wholeness, every time. I walked my path not to inspire others, but to survive myself. If you've learned anything from me, let it be this: do not fear solitude. Embrace it. Do not chase victory. Create value. Do not seek to be known. Seek to know. And most of all, be present. Thank you for listening. If my experience has given you even one glimpse of insight, one whisper of clarity, then I am grateful. This is my story. Musashi Miyamoto.